Good evening, baseball fans. How are you doing on this fine Thursday evening? Who's ready for Friday? I know I am, and I'm ready for the Red Sox to get the heck out of Tropicana Field. I never want to return to Tropicana ever again. The Tampa Bay Rays are on the doorstep of history, 13-0. We're going to break it down. Adley Rustchman looking like an MVP today. Walk-off home run. We're going to dive into that one. The Twins are making me feel a little bit better. Absolutely destroying the Yankees tonight. But I'm still kind of sad. Look at Justin Turner in the thumbnail. Look how sad he looks. That looks like me. That's exactly how I look at this moment. Can we get baseball in Utah? We're going to talk about it. Let's get to it. Baseball fans, how are you doing on this fine Thursday evening? Once again, a lot of familiar faces in the chat. I'm really liking going live here, all these nights during the week. It's nice to talk baseball. But man, can my Red Sox just start playing? Start winning some games against the Rays? My goodness. I mean, that would make it a little better. A little better, please. Can we just get a win at some point? That's all I'm asking for. We got the Angels coming up. My goodness, Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. I mean, we can't beat the Rays. How the heck are we going to beat those guys? That's going to just drive me nuts this weekend. I can already see it. Anyway, some good baseball today. Not really a full slate of baseball today, but you know what? Hey, that's all right. We get a little breathing room tonight. We can kind of, talk about a couple extra things. We got some Utah maybe getting some baseball here. Could Utah actually get a baseball team? That's something I've never actually thought of. Could you imagine, like the Salt Lake City, I don't know, mountains? I don't even know what the heck you would even call them. I haven't even thought about what would even a baseball team be named in Utah. But they're trying to jump into it, looking to maybe get an expansion team at some point down the road. And but not just that. We're going to talk about all the games tonight. And we're just going to break everything down. We're just going to hang out. Pretty easygoing night here on a Thursday. Again, not really a whole lot of games to talk about tonight. But we got a couple important ones to talk about tonight. But before I do get started, if you are new to the channel, think about subscribing down below. Hit the like button for me. That way we can get out there into the algorithm a little bit more. Hit the bell notification. Share the stream if you can. That would help me rather nicely. Chris Grace is in the chat. Listen, Chris, this is a baseball channel here, my friend, but we might have to watch the Bruins. Our Red Sox stink. I'm depressed. I'm sad. I'm more sad than Justin Turner in the thumbnail right now. I'm going to cry myself to sleep. But everyone, if you can, hit the like button for me. Don't forget, we are sponsored here by BetOnline. That is your number one source for all your sports betting needs. We got baseball obviously going on right now, but we got the hockey playoffs coming up. We got the NBA playoffs pretty much in full swing. We just had the in-game tournament the past couple of nights. Don't forget about UFC. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can go bet on at BetOnline. Use the code BLEAV. You get a 50% welcome bonus. And if you are looking to go to any of the games this year in Major League Baseball, make sure you use my code Hyde. You get $20 off. I mean, hey, even if you're going to a hockey game, going to a basketball game, going to a golf outing, I don't know what the heck you want to do, but go use it. $20 off. That's not too bad. And also, we are partners here with Prize Picks. It's a different twist when it comes to betting on your favorite sports. Use my code GINGER and you get a 100% deposit match. So let's get to it, everyone. I'm sad. I'm unhappy. My Red Sox stink. I hate it here. But let's dive into it. The Rays, they're on the doorstep of history. Do I got the music playing? I always forget to turn on this music. What the heck is going on here? All right, music's on. Here we go. Let's get to it here. Honestly, while this game was going on today, I was actually at work, so I couldn't really tune in. Gotta mold the young minds at school. But, I was still getting the updates coming in on the iPad. I was seeing what was going on, and I was feeling pretty good at one point. Going into the bottom of the fifth, had a 3-1 lead. Rob Refsnyder making us Robs look rather nice. Home run there to start things off. That was just a feel-good start. You felt like the Red Sox, all right, this is the start they need. This is what they've been looking for here. Jump out to a lead here in St. Petersburg, and good things will happen. And then the Rays, they came back there in the bottom of the first. They tied it up. But Kluber, after that, Corey Kluber, he was looking like the old Klubot, man. He was looking amazing. He was just striking out guys. He was making guys look silly. And then all of a sudden, this fifth inning started, and everything just imploded. A 7-run fifth. Let me just go through this. So Mejia, he had a base hit that made it 3-2. Lau is just going crazy. Can Brandon Lau be an MVP candidate this year? This guy he was so hurt last year. He was just going through all these injuries. And my goodness, he is having himself a really good start to this year. I mean, let's just pull up the numbers here. I mean, how could we not? This guy is absolutely fantastic. Hitting 333. Look at the on base of a 463. What the heck is going on with Brandon Lau? A 1.281 OPS. This guy's got 5 home runs. It feels like they've all come against the Red Sox. 12 RBIs. I think Brandon Lau could have a case to go for an MVP. Remember, not too long ago, this guy had a really good season in 2021. I mean, look at the season that he had. I mean, my goodness, this guy had 39 home runs, 99 RBIs, hit an 863 OPS. I mean, are we really are we surprised to be seeing, Lau putting up these kind of numbers? This guy's always been hitting really well. Even go back to 2020, guy had a 916 OPS. I mean, go back to 2019, had an 850 OPS. This guy's good, man. And he just kills the Red Sox every single time. But after that, Arozarena, I mean, they got, does it just feel like they got MVP candidates all over this team right now? Arozarena, the most fun player in baseball. He made it 4-3. That gave the Rays the lead. Margot laid down a bunt. That's how annoying the Rays are right now. They're not just killing you with the bats. They're not just killing you with kindness, but they're laying down bunts. And they're just rubbing it in at this point. 5-3 after that. Harold Ramirez, and then he just had the cherry on top. Cleared the bases. My goodness, just a shot down the left field line, made it 8-3. And that was when I'm like, all right, I hate my life. I hate everything here. And then, of course, Brandon Lau, like I'm talking about here. Every home run he hits is against the Red Sox. And home run from him, that made it 9-3. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, this Rays team, I've said this for how long now? This Rays team, I said this last night, going back to 2021, that team, 100 wins that year. They just find ways to beat you. They can either beat the crap out of you. They can barely beat you. They can beat you with pitching. They can beat you with offense. They can beat you with their bench. They can beat you with their prospects. This Rays team, this whole organization is, what else is there to say? Yeah, they had a lot of injuries last year. And a part of me didn't want to buy into the Kool-Aid that these guys coming back healthy was going to turn it around for them. And of course, I'm the biggest moron in the room, and I didn't want to drink the Kool-Aid, and I should have. I should have made a full glass of that Tampa Bay Rays Kool-Aid, and I'm looking like the biggest moron here on Baseball YouTube, saying they're not going to make the playoffs. I mean, they're pretty much already on their way to clinching the AL East here in the next couple of weeks. I mean, at this rate, they're going to clinch the AL East by June. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, I don't even know. What are even the standings right now? I don't usually look at the standings at this point. But, I mean, I think it would be fun to go see, how far ahead they are right now. This is my first time looking at the standings. Okay, wow, they're only actually 4.5 up. Okay, that's actually, I thought it was going to be way more than that. Well, my Red Sox are 8 back, so there goes that. At least we're only 2.5 out of the wild card spot. That's what I'm talking about. But we stink. 4 in a row. All 4 we lost there. Man, We're just, I don't even know what I'm going to get into the Red Sox here in just a second. But the Rays, they are on, like I've said like 3 times now, they're on the doorstep of history. They have tied the record for most wins to start a season, 13 wins. That ties the 81 Braves. I keep going, I don't know why I keep getting these mixed up. And was it the 82 Brewers? I'm not sure if I got that right. But those teams, they started off 13-0. The Brewers ended up not even, I believe they didn't even make the playoffs that year. I think they fell short of making the playoffs. And I think the Braves ended up getting to the National League Championship in that season. So, I don't know. Who knows what's going to end up happening with this Rays team. Could you imagine? I mean, listen, I'm not trying to rain on their parade right now. There it is. Tice Thompson, 82 Braves, 87 Brewers. Thank you. It's just the 80s. They're getting me all mixed up. But, I mean, hey, this is 2023 right now. I mean, this is a whole new ball game. This is different. Let me know in the chat. I want to know what you all think in the chat. Tell me how many wins do you think the Rays will get before they lose? Let me know a number in the chat. Do you think they'll get to 14-0? Do you think they get to 15? Do you think they get to 20-0? Could you imagine if they start the year 20-0? I mean, my goodness. Like, that would just be bonkers. It'd be bonkers. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be the Rays. I mean, if they're just going to blow this record through the roof, it's going to be the Tampa Bay Rays. So, we're seeing a lot of different numbers here. Michael, you think it ends at 13. You think they lose tomorrow to the Toronto Blue Jays. Brandon Dillman has 18. Noah has 23. Wolfpack going with 24. Could you imagine if the Rays go 24-0 to start the year? That reminds me of the Celtics. They were looking amazing to start one year. I forget what year it was. Was it the year after they won their championship in 2008? They started off like, I don't know what their record was. They were like, I don't remember what their record was, but they started off, it was like a historic start. I can't remember. It was like 20-1 or like, they might have even been undefeated. I don't even remember, but it reminds me of that. Robert, he's saying just a 162-0 season. Hey, if there's ever a chance here, why not the Rays to go 162-0? It doesn't look like they're ever going to lose. But analytical side of sports, he's saying 16. Gab's Cat saying 27. He's really pushing it. Oh, Max, I know why you're putting that number. Max Schnitzer. I just cursed on stream. My bad. This is a family-friendly show, and I just said a naughty word on the stream. But anyway, let's get to it here. You know, you got the Blue Jays coming up. Why not? Why couldn't they do it? You know, it's always these teams with the low payrolls. They want to make all the noise, right? You go to the Moneyball A's, and you know they had that huge win streak, and now the Rays are doing this. My goodness, it's always these small market teams. They always just want to put up these kind of records. So, going to the Rays here, you're going to Toronto. You got Barrios. I mean, honestly. Come on. You got if there's a guy you're just gonna beat the crap out of, it's gonna be Jose Barrios. I think they're gonna run right through him. I think they're gonna do it. I don't know. I mean, the Blue Jays right now, I believe the last time I checked, they were down against the Tigers. How are they looking right now? I haven't looked at that in a little bit. So the Tigers still 2-1, top of the 8th. They got a couple runners on, but. I don't know. I'll go with the Blue Jays to win that one tomorrow. And then you got Kikuchi. I mean, but then you go up against Alek Manoah on Sunday. But you got McClanahan. What a great matchup that's going to be. Shane McClanahan and Alek Manoah on Sunday. Oof, that's a great matchup. I'm really excited for that one. You know what? Oh, man. You know, if there was a guy that I would love to end the Rays streak, it would be Hunter Green. Just blowing fastballs by this team. I would love that. Man, I really want it. Can they just switch Taj Bradley and Jalen Beeks? I want to see Taj Bradley versus Hunter Green. Tell me you wouldn't want to see that matchup. But I think the Rays here, you know Toronto, they're going to make noise. They're going to get loud there, especially with this kind of number. That they're going for, trying to break the record. Toronto is going to get loud. and they're going to do the Blue Jays fans are going to do everything they can to try and get in the Rays' heads. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, all of these games are winnable because you got Barrios. You never know what he's going to give you. Kikuchi, with Kikuchi this year, I mean, last year was just such a bad season, and his last start was really bad. He allowed 6 runs in his last start. So he's looking terrible. I mean, and then against Manoah, and I think Manoah actually wasn't all that great in his last outing. He gave up 3 runs, 4 hits, and 4 1/3 to the Tigers. So when you got McClanahan, who's just like on another level, why not? I'll go for a sweep. I'll say they'll sweep the Blue Jays. I'll go Hunter Green ending the Rays record to start a year. So what would that be? That would be 16-0. So I'll go 16-0. That's my guess. I'm going to go Hunter Green just ending the Rays' hopes and dreams. But they're looking fantastic right now. What else is there to say? But let's shift gears. I got a rant about my Red Sox here. I'll take that back a little bit. I'm not going to rant. It's still early, but I do want to point out some things with the Red Sox. I have in the title, are the Red Sox in trouble? Listen, it is early. It's early. We're not even halfway through April right now. Overreactions are very common in the month of April, so I'm going to cool my jets, but it is frustrating. As a Red Sox fan, having this lead today, it's looking pretty good. And then Corey Kluber, he just completely melted down. This was a guy, it looked like he had things in control. But the Rays, what they do is they make a ton of contact. They're fast on the bases. They just do, they lay down bunts. They just do everything they can to just beat you. They put the ball in play so much. I mean, honestly, take a look at this. Take a look at this number here today. Corey Kluber, on average, was giving up less than 85 miles or that was the pitch velocity. Sorry. Take a look at exit velocity. If you take a look here, the cutter, on average, it was 93.4. All right, so he was getting hit a little bit there. Changeup wasn't getting hit all that bad. Curveball wasn't all that bad. But he was definitely getting hit on the cutters and the sinkers. But, still, it wasn't like they were going, nuts off of him. There were a lot of balls that just squeaked by, got by the infield. Guys were diving for these balls, and they just out of their reach. The Rays, they just put the ball in play, and they find ways to get runners on. And if we actually go take a look at the Rays when it comes to the numbers, you all know I love my numbers. But if we take a look at on-base percentage right now, right now, the Rays are the number 1 team in offense, okay, by a mile. I mean, look at this. These are the live numbers right now, so these are up to date. So far, as a team, they're hitting 287, a 364 on base, a 576 slugging. Now, those numbers will come down, but that's just incredible. Their offense right now is just insane. They're 20 points ahead of the Dodgers at this point. So, but I actually want to point out something here with the Red Sox. The Red Sox, they have scored a lot of runs up to this point. If we go take a look, the Red Sox are 4th in runs scored. Now, we've seen this Red Sox offense just go crazy in some of these games. However, I want to point something out. The Red Sox offense has not been as good as you might think. Sure, they're putting up runs, but when it comes to all the other numbers, they're not really doing a whole lot. They're hitting 236 as a team, a 315 on base, a 417 slugging. Their WRC plus as a team is 97. They rank 16th in offense right now. So you're probably thinking how? They're just hitting a lot of home runs. That's been the one big thing for the Red Sox. They're 8th in home runs up to this point. So they're just getting the bat on the ball, right? And they're just hitting tater tots, right? But they're not getting on base a whole bunch. So the offense is not as strong as you might think. And a lot of these numbers are with Duvall. So, and now you've lost Duvall? Oh boy. I don't know, man. But the biggest problem with the Red Sox right now, it is starting pitching, right? They are 29th in starting pitching. A 6.63 ERA, a 6.66 FIP. That's not a good number. But I will say this. I see some hope. I see some hope. Sure, the xFIP doesn't look all that great. It's a 4.41, but at least that is way better than that FIP and that ERA. So right now, the xFIP ranks 12th. So an xFIP that leans more into the fly balls, right? So that is one decent sign. One other thing is the Red Sox are getting strikeouts. They're 6th in strikeouts per 9 right now with their starters. So that's not bad at all. However, they're giving up a lot of home runs up to this point. They're number 1 in home runs allowed per 9. So sure, the Red Sox starting pitching right now, it's abysmal. They're not getting the job done, but there are a couple of good signs. There's strikeouts. The xFIP looks okay. And now, maybe I'm just trying to cherry pick here. Whatever. Hey, Giraffe Neck Robbie is here, loud and proud. But I don't think you should get completely worried right now if you're a Red Sox fan. The one saving grace right now is the bullpen. The bullpen has been pretty good. So overall, they're 13th in Fangraph WAR, but the bullpen, a 3.38 ERA. That's pretty solid. Taking a look, that's 10th overall. So there are some good things about the Red Sox, but they need to start putting it more together. Listen, Bobby Dalbec, he can't be playing, shortstop. Like, I get it. It's you got injuries and you're kind of looking for something right now, but I think that's not the call. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not starting Dalbec. I'm just not. I don't trust the guy. I think he strikes out way too much. He's like a home runner happy kind of a guy. Even yesterday playing shortstop, he made an error right away. He went 0 for 4 in that game. How actually did he do today? I don't think he really did all that much. He went 0 for 3 and he struck out 3 times. Like, I'm sorry. Get Dalbec out of this lineup. You know who I would want? I don't know if it's really even going to happen, but I want David Hamilton up from AAA. I mean, this guy, remember, they got him back in that Brewers trade when they got Jackie Bradley Jr., but they also got a couple of prospects with him as well to kind of make up for the bad contract with JBJ. David Hamilton was one of the guys they got back. He is having an awesome start to this year. He's hitting .419, a .438 on base, 1277 OPS, a few homers. He's got 5 stolen bases. This dude stole 70 bases last year in the minor leagues. He is out of his mind. I mean, look at this. 70 stolen bases. I mean, my God. Like, can we get this guy up? He's incredible. 52. I mean, whatever. Even if you have him for some speed, I would really like for him to come up. Like, maybe don't go, rushing to try and fix things at this exact moment. But this is a guy to keep an eye out for the Red Sox. Jack M, how you doing, my friend? $2 super chat. Hey, Robbie, how about this Kelenic run? Go M's. Hey, Mariners fans, I know you're very happy about Jared Kelenic right now. That's a good sign. I'm glad this guy's finally living up to the hype. And Mariners fans are glad, too. He's a good player. I'm just glad he's finally putting it all together. Hit that bomb yesterday against the Cubs. Good for Jared Kelenic, man. Hey, Jack, thank you for that super chat, my friend. But Hamilton, look out for him. This could be a guy, but I understand the Red Sox, they would be a little lefty heavy at that point, so I don't know if he's really going to fit. So that is a bit of a problem. They would have a lot of lefties at that point. But, I don't know. I think they need right now they're looking the offense. I'm actually more worried about the offense than the pitching, to be completely honest with you. The pitching, I think, is going to end up kind of, getting itself right. I'm fine with the bullpen. It's this offense that they're just lacking beef right now. When you lose that power bat with Duvall, you're missing a little something there. They got to do something. I'm not sure what they do with this offense because there's not really a whole lot of ways. Ref Snyder got the start today. That was nice, and he got the home run. I like Ref Snyder. I'm okay with him getting more playing time, but the offense needs something. It just feels a little lost right now since Duvall went down. They had a good game yesterday, but again, it's just the offense isn't consistent, right? They got shut out the other night, only 3 today. and when the pitching is up and down, you need a more consistent offense. And they're just not consistent right now. I would not worry about the Red Sox right now. It's very early. There's no reason to be jumping off the, hilltops, jumping off mountains, jumping off bridges. I will say this. I made a tweet earlier today, and maybe it was a bit of an over-exaggeration, but not really. I was just more kind of thinking out loud. Let's say the Red Sox, they keep playing like this, right? Let's say they go into June, they're 5 games under 500. What do they do from there? Do they take the route? And I know a lot of Red Sox fans are not going to, I tweeted this today and I was getting a couple of responses, not liking what I had to say, but I'm not saying I want it. I'm saying I wonder if the Red Sox would do it. Is if they got rid of Alex Cora, if they feel like they need to do something different, right? You did it with Joe Madden last year in the Angels, right? The Phillies did it with Joe Girardi. I wonder if Hyde Bloom and the Red Sox end up making a move like that. I'm not saying I want it to happen. I'm speculating whether or not they would make a move like that. And again, that's jumping the gun a little bit. I don't think Cora's the problem. I just think these guys are they ran into just this red hot team. I mean, no one can beat this team right now. Until they get beat, no one, a team has to figure out how to beat this team first. And until then, we're not going to see a whole lot of damage against this Rays team. They're red hot. Everything's clicking. Guys are getting bats on the ball. They're pitching incredible. They're just insanely hot right now. And the Red Sox couldn't do anything against them. Again, I don't think Cora is the problem. But I wonder if the Red Sox would make a move like that. Listen, people can cry about Hyde Bloom all they want. They can cry about the roster. They can cry about this. They can whine about this. But I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think Hyde Bloom is going anywhere. I think John Henry, he is committed to hanging on to Hyde Bloom. I think, if anything, if there's going to be a guy that turns into a scapegoat, I wonder if it is Cora. Then again, I could also just see them not doing anything like that. I'm not saying I am pushing for this. I'm just speculating. That's an over-exaggeration at this point. I'm just wondering down the road, if they're still kind of floundering a little bit, do they make a move? Again, I don't think Cora is the problem. I just wonder how the Red Sox will approach it. So let's move on here. I don't know how, I think who knows how long we're going to be starting these streams talking about the Rays. Who knows? But I got to talk about them first until they lose. But let's talk about a fun one today. We got the Orioles. We got the A's. Hey, it's the Adley Rustchman show this year. I'm all about it. I love me some Adley Rustchman. This Orioles team, again, one game, they're just not there. Then you got a game like today, and it feels like, man, like this is an Orioles team that can make the playoffs. This is the Orioles team that can take that next step. And then they have another game where they just look blah, right? That's kind of how they've been so far. Very back and forth, but great win for them today. Actually a great game, but the pitching was terrible. Starting pitching was awful for both of these teams. Cole Irvin got rocked. Adam Oller just looked terrible. It was 4-3 A's after the top of the third. Brent Rooker for the A's today, he went crazy. He had himself a game here today. 2 for 4. 2 of those hits were home runs. 5 RBIs on the day. Brent Rooker with a great day. Esteury Ruiz coming through for the A's here today. 3 for 4. Had a double, couple RBIs, couple of runs scored. The A's, hey, they were doing their thing today. Brent Rooker had a day. But Ryan Mountcastle right now is having himself a season. My goodness, Ryan Mountcastle is all over the place today. Another home run today, another RBI today. He now leads the major leagues in RBIs, 19 overall. I mean, he had that 9 RBI game the other night. I mean, my goodness, like, the guy's nuts. But he just keeps on producing. It's funny because the average is fine. The on base is kind of low, but look at the OPS at 972. Let's look at his slugging percentage. The slugging is at a 679 right now. His OPS is almost at 1,000, and that's with an on base under 300. That is hilarious to me. But Mountcastle keeps producing. But let's kind of just get to a couple more aspects of this game. It was very, back and forth in the early going, but Oakland, they had to chip away. Adam Frazier had a base hit that made it 5-4. Esther Ruiz, like I said, he had a base hit that made it 7-6. But then Brent Rooker, one of the home runs in this game, was tying the game later on. That was in the 5th inning. Then it was scoreless for a little bit, and here comes Adley Rustchman walking it off, bottom of the 9th. He gets Gatorade poured all over him. Very fun game here. If anyone went to this game, this was a fun one. You had scoring. You had the drama at the end. I love it. Adley Rustchman right now. Let me know here. Let me know here in the chat. Give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. Do you think Adley Rustchman is a true MVP candidate this year? It's very early. You don't know how May is going to go. You don't know how June is going to go. But if you were to throw money down on the table, tell me, do you think by the end of the year, Adley Rustchman will be a legit MVP candidate? Let me know in the chat. So Nathan is saying no. So give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. Give me a yes. Give me a no. I'd love to know what all of you think. Joe Dirt says Adley Rustchman on fire. The pitching is terrible. Rustchman is having himself a good year. Well, let me actually pull up the numbers here in case you're, kind of trying to decide, will he actually be an MVP candidate this year? He's hitting 373 right now, 467 on base, a 1.094 OPS. The defense is always great with Adley Rustchman. I think he can be a legit MVP this year. Not even kidding. Brandon Dillman's giving a thumbs up. Ted Harrington is saying no. Tom Amiano with a hard yes. Caden Lichford with a yes. It's Jacob says no. Kevin says top 10. All right. No for top 5, but yes for top 10. I'll raise you, Kevin. I think I'll go top 5. I think he will at least finish top 5. I think he's going to have himself a really solid year. I'll go top 5. I'm not convinced yet that he's going to win it. We got a lot of season, but hey, this guy's really good. Jake Osmond says, I think if he's clearly the best catcher, he's got a chance. That position is built different. It is. There's something about catchers when they have good seasons, just because of how they're looked at in the game of baseball. They're like the generals out there. They're running the team. They're basically the captains of the team, right? Adley Rustchman is that guy. He's got that leadership ability, and I think just because of that, those intangibles are going to help him out at the end. So I think he'll finish top 5 in MVP at least. So let's go to a team that's not looking like they have a whole lot of MVP candidates right now, and that is the Phillies and the Reds. This one just went final not too long ago. The Phillies stink. What is going on with this Phillies team? Listen, I made a terrible pick saying the Rays would not make the playoffs, but I also said the Phillies would not make the playoffs. And right now, I mean, that one is looking pretty good for me. I will say that. And that's how I've always been with predictions. I'll hit on some, and then I'll miss badly on some other ones. So if I can break even on predictions, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. Even if I get like 30% right, I feel pretty good about that. Feel pretty good. But the Phillies, they're not looking great right now. Bailey Falter, he was hit hard in this one. 4 2/3, 5 earned in this game. Nick Lodolo for the Reds, though, looked really good. 5 innings, 6 Ks. Alex Young came out of the bullpen after him. 2 scoreless innings. And then we had Law come in for an inning and 2/3. He looked great. 4 Ks. And then Diaz came in, got the save, got the last out. So, hey, this Reds team looked really good today. Kyle Schwarber hit another moon shot today. What do you know? Kyle Schwarber just hitting moon shots. Castellanos actually got it started for the Phillies in the early going. He had a base hit that made it 1-0. But here come the Reds chipping away in this one. Jonathan India, he scored on a throwing error by Sosa. And then Spencer Steer contributing in this one. Listen, hey, Spencer Steer, this is a guy you want to keep your eyes on this year. Having himself a pretty good start to the season. Because he's on the Reds, he's not getting a lot of eyeballs on him. But through 39 ABs right now, he's hitting 333, a 422 on base. Not too bad. Spencer Steer is looking really solid. This could be a low-key pickup in, fantasy. Whatever kind of fantasy baseball that you're playing. Look out for Spencer Steer. I think he could be like a waiver guy. See if you can pick him up. I think that would be a nice pickup for you. But Tyler Stevenson, he contributed here today. Will Myers contributed for the Reds here. Hey, Will Myers sighting had a couple RBIs in this one. Jose Barrero, made had a base hit that made it 6-2, and that ended up being it here. But overall, the Reds looking like a scrappy team so far. They're not going to get a lot of eyeballs. They're not going to make the playoffs this year, but this is a team that I could see being annoying for teams. Like they got guys. They got guys that can have good at-bats. They got some good pitching in Lodolo and Green. You know, they got a couple of good bullpen arms. This is a Reds team. I think they're going to be kind of annoying this year. And I think, you know, a lot of teams, they're not going to be excited about playing this Reds team. So I like the way the Reds are battling so far in the early going. Let's go check on the Tigers and the Blue Jays. The Tigers just added on another run here. But let me just kind of get you caught up here. So Bassett in this one, you know, tough for Bassett because this was his best start here today. He actually looked pretty good. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned, 7 Ks. That's his best start in a Blue Jays uniform so far. Remember, he got absolutely torched in his first start with the Blue Jays. He gave up like, what, 50 runs? I don't know what that number was. But good start for him today, but just no offense. Vlad Jr. had a base hit that gave a run for the Blue Jays. But overall for the Tigers, Tyler Nevin, Zach McKinstry had RBIs for the Tigers. And let's actually go see here. What was the third run? Jake Rogers had a double. Look at the mustache with Jake Rogers. My goodness. But he had a double there in the 8th. That made it 3-1. And right now, I mean, the Blue Jays, they created some magic last night. They ended up getting the walk-off. Can they pull something off here again? With this offense, you never know. You never know with this offense. But we'll come back and check this game here in a little bit. The Cardinals and the Pirates, they were scoreless earlier, but the Pirates, the most fun team in baseball, they have added on 4 runs here. I'm not going to lie. I just had a moment here. I just saw Jason Delay, and I thought I saw Jason Bay. Oh, my God. Jason Bay, can you please come out of retirement and go play for Pittsburgh? That would be amazing. God, I miss Jason Bay. 2008, 2009, J-Bay was very good. You know, I got to look at some Jason Bay numbers now. I love Jason Bay with the Red Sox. When he came back in that Manny Ramirez trade, that dude was great. He was awesome. But then he went to the Mets and he just fell apart completely. Let's look at these numbers here. Yeah, 2008, he was so good that year. 2009, he was an all-star that year. And then he went to the Mets and he fell apart. He was a great fit for the Red Sox. Look at the year that he had in 2009. He had a 384 on base, 537 slugging, 36 homers, 119 RBIs. Jason Bay, man. Jason Bay. But getting back to it, again, I'm looking at Jason Bay because I just saw Jason Delay, and I thought I saw Jason Bay. Anyway, but speaking of Bays, how about G1 Bay? He's been fun this year. But let's actually get to the scoring here. Let's see how the Pirates have put these runs up. I was getting ready for the stream, and the last time I had checked this, it was a scoreless game. So Carlos Santana had a double in the top of the 6th. McCutcheon had a sac fly in the 7th. Connor Joe with a home run in the top of the 8th. That made it 3-0. And Rodolfo Castro with a home run. The Pirates are the most fun team in baseball right now. I will be, even if they end up having a losing record this year, I still think they will have that title. They will be the fun team of the year. Really like this Pirates team. They're battling. I just wish they had O'Neal Cruz. Such a bummer. Such a bummer. But let's get to the box score with the pitchers. Look at Vince Velasquez. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. Oh, man. When was the last time we saw Vince Velasquez actually good? You know, he had a couple of years there with the Phillies. He was like kind of looking okay at times. 2016, he was okay. But after that, he's just never really been able to put anything together. And look at Vince Velasquez in this game. 6 shutout innings for him. Are you kidding me? Underwood Jr., Holderman, good in the bullpen here. Montgomery got the start in this one for the Cardinals, and he was actually looking pretty good. He went to the 7th, 6 hits, 2 earned. But Cabrera didn't get anything done. Hicks came in and walked a couple of guys. So right now the Cardinals, you know, they're kind of just, I don't know. They just haven't really figured it out yet. This is a good team. This Cardinals team will be there. They will get hot at some point. They're going to start winning games. It's not even a matter of if to me. It's a matter of when. I would not be worried if you're a Cardinals fan. would not be worried. But Jordan Walker here, let's actually check on him. Remember, he is going for history. He's had a hit in each game every year so far, starting his career. He's 0 for 3 right now. So when is he? So Goldschmidt is up right now. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So he should get up, I would think, right? So Arenado, unless they get a double play here, that would hurt his chances of getting another at bat. So we're on Jordan Walker watch. Keep an eye out for that because he is going for history, trying to get a hit in his 13th straight game to start his career. So we'll come back and check on that in a little bit. But actually, really quick, before we actually come back and check this one, I do want to talk about the game last night with the Dodgers and the Giants because I ended the stream before the game, ended up coming. Wait, did I talk about the Twins and the Yankees yet? I completely missed the Twins and the Yankees. Oh my goodness. What the heck am I doing here? I'll get to the Giants and the Dodgers game last night. What the heck? How did I miss this? I just completely missed it. But the Twins absolutely just exploded on the Yankees here. My goodness. What in the world? They had a 9-run first. They went through the entire lineup in the first inning. My goodness. Julian. That's a name you should remember. Edouard Julian. He had a base hit to start this game. It's his first year playing with the Twins. He had his first ever base hit coming into this, started the game. And then he came up again in the first inning, and then he hit a home run. That is crazy. This offense absolutely exploded in the first inning. Let's just go through it here. So Larnack had a sac fly that made it 1-0. Miranda had a double that made it 3-0. Solano had a double that made it 4-0. Christian Vasquez, an old buddy, had a double as well, 5-0. Michael Taylor home run, 7-0. And there's Edouard Julian with a home run, made it 8-0. Carlos Correa getting in on the action, 9-0. I mean, that's all. Michael Taylor having himself a year, man. He had another home run in this one. 2 home runs in this game. Are you kidding me? Michael Taylor. Okay, never mind. I take that back. It seemed like he was doing way better. But he's come up in some big spots for the Twins so far. So far, hey, he's hitting 255. That's not terrible. He's got 3 homers. Actually, his OPS, his on base is 271. OPS is 760. So the slugging is actually, it's pretty decent, 489. So Michael Taylor, he's been coming up in spots this year. Hey, give it to him, man. A couple of home runs in this one. Not bad. Michael Taylor, man, coming up big. But Johnny Burrito for the Yankees. I believe, was he pitching here today? Yes, Johnny Burrito. I call him Johnny Burrito because I think it's Brito, but it sounds like burrito. So I'm going to call him Johnny Burrito. But he couldn't even get out of the first inning in this one. They took him out. They yanked him. They brought in Brewer. He gave up 7 runs on 6 hits. Johnny Burrito, not a good day. Was that Edouard Julian's debut game here today? Did he just get called up for this one? I thought maybe he had been here for a couple of days. But hey, good for him, man. Edouard Julian, that's crazy. What a way to start your career. Leading it off with a base hit, and then you come up again still in the first inning, and then you get a home run. That's crazy. So, but yeah, the Yankees pitching today, absolutely abysmal. Look at Kiner Falefa. Kiner Falefa got in on the pitching tonight. He pitched an inning. He only gave up a hit. Gotta love it. Hey, Kiner Falefa, he's just trying to find playing time any way he can. Can this guy just pitch too? I'm all about it. What do we got here? What do we got? Oh, Jacob Tobin, his debut was yesterday. That's what I thought I read. I thought like he had been up a little bit. Nathan, how you doing, my friend? Thoughts on the Reds' future? I think the Reds have a great future. Good prospects, good young players on the team already. They're going to have to, at some point, though, they're going to have to make a signing, at some point down the road. They're going to, I think teams that want to win, you got to make a couple of signings at least, right? I mean, the Astros are an example where you can take a look at what they've been doing, and they just lock up their guys to long-term deals, and they end up letting like these guys like Correa, Springer, they go elsewhere. So I think, to me, if they can lock up some of these younger guys to some long-term deals, and keep their good players, make a couple of good signings, I'm not saying you got to break the bank. The Reds are not going to break the bank for a free agent. But if, they can go out there in the next few years, bring in a couple of solid guys, got all this youth, I think the Reds could be really good in the next couple of years. And they're already looking okay so far right now. I love Green. I love Lodolo. Could you imagine if they could bring in like a good starting pitching free agent to go with those guys? Oof. That'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good. Could Trevor Bauer end up going back to Cincinnati at one point? Could you imagine Trevor Bauer, Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo? I'm also really excited to see how Trevor Bauer does in Japan this year. Has anyone been watching the Trevor Bauer vlogs? I'm telling you, those vlogs in Japan, they're going to be really fun. Because it's already fun enough because it's in a different country. Like, you're seeing how, and you know how with Bauer, he's vlogging everywhere. He's going to show you everything. And it just, to me, I find it interesting just seeing how things are done in Japan, right? They got so many cool things over there, neat technology, great food. I'd love to visit Japan at some point, but I think those Bauer vlogs, I think they're gonna be really good. So I would really tune in for his season in Japan. But could you imagine if they bring him back? That'd be awesome, right? Bauer, Lodolo, and Green. What a three that would be. He was good with the Reds, He was good. And maybe the Reds could afford him this time. I'm just saying. His value is completely plummeted. So I could see the Reds maybe bringing him back. That'd be crazy. So Ian RL, it's going to be cool. Just hope he can find his way back into the MLB. Yeah. I think he will be back probably next year. I think he's going to have this season in Japan. He's going to do what he's got to do over there. But let's get to the Dodgers and the Giants game from last night. So it was pretty much the Max Muncy show last night. The Dodgers, I don't think, are playing tonight. We got the Padres and the Brewers tonight. That's actually going on right now. They just got started in San Diego. Milwaukee's up to a 2-1 lead already. I'll get to that in just a second, but I do just want to touch on the Giants and the Dodgers from last night. So what do I do here? Okay, do I gotta click this? There we go. Let's go to Wednesday. Yeah, this one went on late. I actually fell asleep before it even ended. But Max Muncy was out of his mind in this one. And the reason I want to talk about this is I actually want to show you all Max Muncy's numbers in San Francisco. So in this one, 2 home runs for him, 4 RBIs. Trace Thompson had a home run in this one as well. There was a lot of offense here for the Giants. Or for the Dodgers, sorry. The Giants actually did get the offense started in last night's game. They made it 3-0, but then J.D. Martinez had a triple, and then James Outman continues to produce for the Dodgers, had a base hit there. And then Mookie Betts came in. He drove in David Peralta. That's when Max Muncy came up, had a home run to tie it, and then he had another home run later on that made it 8-3. Trace Thompson with another home run. He made it 10-3. It was all Dodgers last night. Clayton Kershaw picking up the win, 6 innings, 2 earned. So... but I want to show you Max Muncy's numbers in his career against the Giants. I mean, my goodness. Taking a look here. Against the Giants in his career, he is hitting 274 over 75 games. He's hitting 274 against the Giants with a 384 on base and a 635 slugging. Over those 75 games, he's got 25 home runs and 55 RBIs. Look at the walk to strikeout ratio against the Giants. 57 strikeouts and 42 walks. Are you kidding? That's nuts. And let's actually go to his numbers in San Francisco. Taking a look at, here we go. So here are the ballparks. And then at Oracle, in his career, 38 games at Oracle Park, hitting 297 with a 419 on base and a 625 slugging. 27 strikeouts and 27 walks. He is insane against the Giants. That's crazy. Dude might as well, I mean, I don't know, man. I think if he can just play the rest of his career just against the Giants, and he'll end up being a Hall of Famer, basically. So Max Muncy is nuts against San Francisco. So real quick, I want to actually just, before I get to the next story, which is going to kind of wrap things up, I want to talk about where is it? I just want to check on, I got too many tabs open right now. Get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. I want to check on the Cardinals. Let's see if Jordan Walker is going to be able to come up. So let's go all. Jordan Walker still chasing that history. So Nolan Gorman lined out. So let's see. So Gorman was the last out. So yeah, Walker's going to get a chance. Walker will get a chance. So we'll keep an eye on that. The Pirates are batting right now, so looks like the Pirates are going to end up winning this one, but I hope Jordan Walker can get a hit. So anyway, let's get to it here. So let's talk about a possible expansion team in Utah. So Jeff Passan, I meant to talk about this last night. I completely forgot, but let's talk about it here. So Jeff Passan, a Salt Lake City consortium led by the former owner of the Utah Jazz, plans to pursue a Major League Baseball expansion franchise in the coming years. So taking a look here, a part of that group is Dale Murphy, and he went to BYU. So, you know, this guy has just got Utah in his blood. But Dale Murphy, I believe his father owned the Utah Jazz, but he passed away, if my memory serves me correctly. And his wife, Gail Murphy, I think is a part of this group as well. I think she owns the group, I might be wrong on that, but I know she's at least a part of it. But Dale Murphy had a successful career in the major leagues. He was actually really solid, had over 2,000 hits in his career, had over 1,200 RBIs. In his career, he had a 346 on base, almost had 400 home runs. So not bad at all. Solid player. But he is a part of this group to try and land a team in Utah. So, taking a look here, a coalition led by the Miller family and the Larry H. Miller Company and backed by Utah politicians, investors, and celebrities like Murphy is launching an official campaign to try to bring a big league ball team to Utah's capital. Okay, we believe, so Gail Miller here. Wait, did I say, no, I don't know why. I just had a brain fart. I'm thinking Gail Miller no, Dale Murphy's dad did not own I just completely messed up on that. I was thinking Murphy and Miller, and I got the M's mixed up in my head. Anyway, no, Gail Miller, separate. She was a part of the ownership of the Utah Jazz before, until they sold. So we believe in the power of sports to elevate and unify communities, Gail Miller, owner of the Larry H. Miller Company, said in a statement. Larry and I risked everything to acquire the Utah Jazz, and it was a tremendous honor to ensure it thrived as a model franchise. We now have an opportunity to welcome Major League Baseball to Utah and invite all Utahns to join us in this effort. So it goes on to say, Manfred, he's looking to expand. No surprise there. I think we will have 32 teams by the end of the decade. By the time we get to 2030, I think we'll be at 32. I really do think that. I think you're going to see the Rays. I don't know. My guess is the Rays will end up being in Tampa. I think they're going to go from St. Petersburg to Tampa. That's my guess. And then, if they were to move out of the state, I would say they end up going to Nashville. I don't think they would go very far. I think Oakland is probably going to end up going to Vegas unless they can figure something out there. Who knows? I don't know. Manfred seems to be really trying to push them to figure something out. So either way, I do think we will have 32 teams by the end of the decade. That's just my opinion. But it goes on to say here, for the past year, the Miller Group has had discussions with MLB leaders and believes Salt Lake City can be a serious contender for one of those franchises. The 100-acre Rocky Mountain Power property, along with North Temple across from Utah State Fair Park on the west side, is the preferred location for a future stadium and mixed use development. So it goes on to say here, nothing is guaranteed, but this is really exciting for people who have dreamed of this for a long time, said Utah Governor Spencer Cox, who has thrown his support behind an expansion bid. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. I mean, Utah has always been, anytime I think of Utah, I think of basketball with the Jazz. Obviously, if we go take a look at the attendance, I know it's different sports, but I'm kind of just looking at how people feel about their sports in Utah. The Jazz, this year, they were 13th in attendance on average. They had 18,206 fans per game. So, not bad. People like their Jazz over there. But you're probably thinking, well, will that translate to baseball? Now, if we go take a look, they do have a AAA team in Salt Lake, right? The Salt Lake Bees. In all of AAA last year, they ranked 18th in attendance out of 120 teams. So, or is this just, because you have a whole bunch of different leagues. Or is that just, or that's AAA, AA, and single A, right? And then, or this is just all of it, right? A ball, low A, AA, and then AAA. Yeah, that makes sense because 30 teams, 4 minor league teams each. Yeah, so that's all of minor league baseball. They were 18th in all of minor league baseball when it came to attendance last year. So you got something there going for you. So, and I've also read that they're trying to move the Salt Lake Bees. They're trying to move them to a new stadium. So, but they're doing well when it comes to baseball there. So keep an eye out for Salt Lake, man. I think it's kind of one of those, Utah is kind of one of those states that you don't really ever think about, right? But their people like their sports, man. They got great sports fans over there. Remember the Utah Jazz going up against the Chicago Bulls in the 90s? They got fans there, man. Passionate fans that love their sports. But honestly, I think this is the bigger one, or the bigger piece of evidence to me, is that they were 18th in minor league baseball when it came to attendance, right? Number one, right? You had the Dayton Dragons, the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, the Columbus Clippers, the Nashville Sounds, like they're going for a team, right? They got a ton of people coming out to their games. My Red Sox in Worcester, people love their Woo Sox. But the Aviators in Las Vegas, that's a good sign that they're going to be able to draw a lot of people if they get a major league team. They will absolutely get people to go to those games in Vegas. If the A's move to Las Vegas, they will easily get people to go to those games. I guarantee that. Charlotte in North Carolina, that's a state that's been on the radar for a possible expansion team or for a team to move there. I mean, they're 7th in attendance when it comes to minor leagues. So I'm just saying here, everyone, don't be surprised if Utah ends up getting a team. I think right now it's more likely. I think Nashville will be an expansion team. I think this is what I think ends up happening. I personally think the Rays will move from St. Petersburg to Tampa. I personally think, if I'm leaning one way right now, I think Oakland moves to Las Vegas. I just feel like that, it just feels like it's almost inevitable. Like, no one is going to the games in Oakland. Like, they don't go out and spend money. Like, I just think, I don't know. My gut tells me that Vegas is a very, very high possibility, but I could also see them even figuring it out in Oakland. If I were to lean one way, though, I'd think the A's go to Las Vegas. And then I do think if you have expansion teams, I do think Nashville will get a team. I absolutely think they will. I just think that's going to happen. Tennessee, man, with those Titans, they love their Titans, man. And especially because they get so many people coming out to see minor league baseball, I definitely think Nashville will get a team. Charlotte's interesting. I think it will. The other expansion team, I think, will come down to like the Carolinas and Utah. I'll be honest, like, I can't really say, I just don't really ever hear a whole lot about the Carolinas getting baseball. I don't really hear a whole lot either about Utah getting baseball. So it'd be interesting. But if you're looking at the minor league numbers, I mean, hey, Charlotte, they get a lot. Utah, they get a lot too, but we'll have to see. You're saying here, what about the Expos? Yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to get the Expos back. I don't know. But we do have a super chat from William. How you doing, my friend? Thank you for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. Robbie, you may still love your Sox if the Rays sweep the Jays. Hey, whatever. I didn't think the Red Sox were going to win this division this year. I didn't think they even had a chance. Whatever. They can stay in the hunt for a wild card. And if they can go sweep the Jays, I'm all about it. Keep the Red Sox and the Jays close in the standings. I'm okay with that. Right now, I do think the Rays, I think they have a very good chance to sweep the Jays. I think they have a shot because they're going up against Barrios. They're going up against Kikuchi. And then you got McClanahan on Sunday. I think they got a very good shot at doing it. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But everyone, let's see what's going on here the Pirates just added another run. Oh, Walker's up. Walker is up. Wow, we just got here right on time. Okay. So here we go. Jordan Walker going. Where's my remote? I'd love to put this on the TV. My remote is too far away, everyone. I cannot put this on the TV. Dang it. Can't watch it. Well, we got Jordan Walker up here. We're looking to see if he can make some history. You got Moreta on the mound out of the bullpen. First pitch is a slider. Walker is looking for a hit, right? So he's looking for some history. Let me actually pull up here his game log. He's in very good territory right now. Okay, so as you can see, Jordan Walker has had a hit in every game up to this point. I believe he is tied with Eddie Murray. So he tied Eddie Murray yesterday. He's looking to start his career with the longest hit streak for a player 20 or younger. So we're trying to see if Jordan Walker will get some history. I can't watch the game. My remote is too far and I don't want to get up. So, but Jordan Walker. I really like Jordan Walker. I don't know why. It's something. I just love the way he carries himself. I just enjoy watching, when he gets interviewed. He seems like just a good dude. Got a good head on his shoulders. He's only 20 years old, and he carries himself like he's so articulate when he speaks. I love that. All right. Good mom and dad growing up. Just, good dude. Really good start to this year, though. 50 ABs, hitting 300, OPS at 800. Definitely a good bat. Oh, wait. What happened? Oh, no. Wait, did he get on? Did he get a hit? Wait, what just happened? Oh, he called that on strikes. Oh, no. Jordan Walker called out on strikes. And there it goes. There it goes. Did he get a standing O? Anyone in the chat, can you tell me? Did they give them a standing ovation? I hope he did. I hope he got one. Can anyone tell me? Really? Oh, man. That's a really good start to his career. Past Ted Williams. Man, tied Eddie Murphy. Man, I would have stood up on, easily and applauded that guy, man. That's a huge start to his career. So, but looking like this game is starting to wind down now. The Pirates on their way to their 8th win. So, but everyone, before I do wrap things up, I actually want to go over a new sponsor of the channel, and that is Sorare Fantasy Baseball. If you click the link in the description, it's completely free to get started. It's a new way to play fantasy baseball. And I actually, last week, I didn't place very well, but I get a reward for simply even just competing last week. So let's actually see what card am I going to get. So if you're wondering, Sorare, what makes it different is that you're playing with cards, right? You're playing instead of just, on fantasy baseball, the ESPN, Yahoo, CBS, or whatever, you're playing with actual cards that you collect, right? So if you go back to your Pokemon days, your Yu-Gi-Oh days, I was a big Yu-Gi-Oh guy when I was younger. Obviously, if you wanted to play better and you wanted to be more competitive, you had to have good cards. It's the same thing here. So let's see. I won a card last week. Let's see which card I get. Someone on the Mets, a reliever. Drew Smith is now on my team. So I'm going to register for the Common All-Star Tournament. McClanahan is pitching this week. So the way Sorare works is you get a couple of playing weeks, right? You get the weekend, and then you get Friday through Sunday, and then you get Monday through Thursday. So McClanahan's going this Sunday. I'm going to go with him. I just got Drew Smith, but I'm going to keep going with Kendall Graveman here. Nate Lowe, I think I'm going to stick with him over Torkelson. Nate Lowe's been hitting really well lately, so I got to stick with him. Definitely going Trey Turner as my infielder. Definitely going Aaron Judge. So I can go with an extra hitter here. Sawinski's actually been hitting really well lately. I'm going to go with him. And then for my other guy, I don't think any of these guys are probables. So I don't think Chris Sale's going to be pitching this weekend. So I'll just go with Yoshida as my flex. So my team is registered for this coming week. If I really wanted to, I could go buy some cards and upgrade my team that way. But I don't feel like that. I'm just going to try and keep winning cards. But everyone, go try it out. Click the link in the description. It's right there. It's completely free. You don't have to pay anything. So go play, see what you can do, see how well you can finish. But everyone, I'm going to get out of here for tonight. I'm going to wrap things up. It's almost bedtime. But hey, you know what? Everyone, coming into this year, I was only planning on doing, a couple of nights a week just streaming, Wednesdays and Sundays. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm really starting to enjoy doing the nightly streaming, kind of just going over the games. It seems like you're all enjoying it. Last night, we got up to almost 200 people in the chat. The other night, we got up to around 150. Tonight, we were, for a Thursday night and not a whole lot of games going on, we were at around like 120 people in the chat. So it seems like you guys are enjoying these nightly recaps of me just coming on and hanging out. So I'm going to keep doing it, everyone. It's something I'm enjoying doing. So, but I am going to only do it. I'm going to do it Sunday through Thursday. So I'm going to take Friday, Saturdays off, give myself a couple of days. And then I'll be back on Sunday. Power rankings will be back in May, right? So I've been having people asking about power rankings. I'm still going to give it a few more weeks before I really start my power rankings. That'll be a fun first show for the power rankings. So, but that's going to be a few weeks away. So, everyone, if you can, on the way out, please hit that like button for me. It helps with the algorithm. And if you are still not subscribed, think about subscribing. Hit the bell notification. That way you know I go live every single time. Share the stream as well. But everyone, have yourself a great night, and I'll talk to you next time.